Welcome. My name's Andrey Spencer, and in this video I'm going to be doing two things. Giving a glimpse at the game SpellTower Plus by Zach Gage, leaving a review for the game, and in the other half of the video I want to dive a little deeper into the design, do a little analysis to hopefully help any up-and-coming designers know what to look out for and things to keep in mind when designing their own video games or UI, or if they work in UX, any of those fields. I think even though I'm going to be talking specifically about a mobile game, I think a lot of what I talk about can be applied to many other avenues. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So SpellTower Plus, like I said, this is a game by Zach Gage, a very well-known indie developer, made a lot of big hits in the past, and this is actually a game that was already out. There was already a SpellTower out, and he wanted to update it, upgrade it, and decide to come out with a fresh new game called a SpellTower Plus, and that is what you're looking at right now. So off the bat, I think the game is pretty great. It's a really fun word search type game, and the nice thing about this game is how much you get for free. As you can see here, there are 5 game modes: daily search, daily tower, tower, puzzle, and rush, which you get for free, and you can play as much as you want. There are ads in the game, but they're not too intrusive. No banner ads. It's just once in a while you get a full page pop-up, but that's not too bad. And the game's pretty fun. My favorite mode is probably the puzzle mode, and I'll give you kind of a look at how you can play the game. Pretty much what you do is you just try finding words. Pretty fun, pretty simple, well designed. In this mode, every time you make a word, a new row is added to the bottom, and once you hit the top of the screen, you lose. And every game mode pretty much revolves around the same mechanics. Same with tower, same with rush, and daily modes. So yeah, I would say if you're into word search type games or puzzle games, definitely pick this one up. I mean, it's free, so you really don't have anything to lose. Now I want to change gears and dive into the design analysis like I had mentioned earlier. So if you're just here for the review, wanted to see what the game was about, feel free to click off. But I hope you stay, because I think you could learn a lot from what I'm about to share. So, like I already had mentioned, Zach Gage is a well-known indie developer, and for good right, he makes really good games. This one's no exception. It's designed pretty well, so a lot of the things I'm going to talk about might sound nitpicky, but it's just stuff. I don't want to dog on the design of this game. It's just things for people to consider when they're creating their own games. Like I said, I think this game is designed really well, but I'll still talk about some things that I think could possibly be improved. I don't know. It's just my opinion. So to start off, the main menu here. In my opinion, it's a little cluttered. It feels like there's a little bit too much noise. And I think in part that could be due with the background. As you could see, it has a bunch of letters in the background, and they're all slowly moving. And it's kind of a nice effect, but I feel like it's extra noise, and it might look a little better, or a little cleaner, I should say, without that, if it was just a flat color in the background. Another part of that is just the number of words on the screen. Each game mode, you have a word for each one, as well as down here at the bottom, you have leaderboards, options, tutorial, and statistics. So just a lot of words to look at. When you first look at it, it might be a little jarring, and I think some of that could be alleviated if you turn those 4 options at the bottom of the screen into maybe icons. I know a lot of those are pretty standard icons, like a leaderboard or the options or even the tutorial button. It might be kind of hard to find some for statistics, but I'm sure it's doable. I think icons would make it, for one, if you're working on a game that's being localized for multiple languages, icons are great because you don't have to translate. And a lot of times they're universal, so people get them right away. And like I said, it kind of declutters the main menu. But in this case, since this game is only for the English language, I don't think it's too big of a deal. Just kind of something to throw out there for you to think about yourself. But I do think the options menu is pretty straightforward. Like I said, some of the things like haptics being on and off, instead of actually saying on and off, you could turn that into an icon, and it kind of does with the little white and black dots on the left showing what's on, what's off. So that's pretty clever. Yeah, another thing that he does well is the way he breaks up the main menu. So you can see this orange line that's put between Daily Tower and Tower. That's kind of a nice little break, so you kind of know the sections are a little different. And the thing that I thought was really clever was the ad that he has towards the bottom here between Rush and the 4 options at the bottom. This is a nice way of integrating an advertisement into the main menu where everyone's going to see it, as well as breaking up the menu into different pieces. And the nice thing about this ad is it shows you exactly what you're going to get. You know, you're going to get new game modes, you're going to remove advertisements from the game, and get detail statistics. So it's really nice that he shows exactly what you're paying for. You know, and with a game this good, you know, it's nice to support indie developers. So I would recommend, if you find yourself playing this game a lot, it might be a good idea to buy the full version. One kind of small thing I found is right up here at the very top corner, you can see this heart button. If you click it, it pulls down kind of an about page for Zach, which I find to be pretty nice. Nice, clean way. You know, it's nice to show a picture of, you know, who actually made the game, little description there, and then it shows some of his other games he's made. One thing is he put SpellTower Plus on this list, which I don't think is necessary since you're already playing the game, so you don't really need it there, especially at the top of the list. Might be better to show one of your other games more prominently, but it's a really small thing, but just something I wanted to call out. And the other thing about that is that button is really close to the plus in SpellTower Plus, and at a first glance you might not really notice that that is a button. I think if he had put the heart on the left side of the screen above like the S, it might be noticed more often. But you might need to do some testing to see if that is actually correct, but just something I want to throw out. I do like though how when you switch between the different options, one, it changes color, which shows you that you have selected a new option, which is nice. And another thing it shows is your high score for that game, and your current score if you've saved the game, which is a really, really smart design feature because it plays into the part of not showing the user irrelevant information. You know, think about how much more cluttered this screen would be if next to each option it also showed your high score. You know, it'd be way too much to look at. So this was a nice way of hiding information that's not necessary to the user until they want to see it. One thing I kind of noticed is it's not super obvious how to pause the game or go to the main menu from the game screen. It's kind of a small thing because it's pretty quick to figure out that if you just click on the name of the mode in the top left, the pause screen will come up. But, you know, in your game, it might be more beneficial to make it more obvious how to pause the screen, just so players don't even have to, you know, question or think about it whatsoever. It's just automatic. This pause screen is pretty good, I think. Pretty simplistic. A couple little tweaks I would personally make. I would make the background a little bit darker so there's a little bit more contrast between the menu options and the background screen. And I think the formatting is a little bit strange on the screen. The amount of space in between different options seems to vary for reasons I'm not entirely sure why. So I'd probably make it more uniform. But the one thing I did want to point out is it's really nice how Zach put a space in between the abandon game option and the resume option. This makes it a lot less likely that you accidentally abandon the game when you meant to click resume. So that's a really smart design choice right there. Another thing that I wanted to point out is the wording. You know, a lot of times you'll see people just say home or restart, but here he chose to write save and quit to menu. You know exactly what you're getting when you click that button. Same with abandoned game. and that is some really good attention to detail that I want to point out. So, sometimes question the status quo. It seems like everyone has, home button, restart button, but like you can see here, there sometimes might be better options. Like I said, a lot of what I talked about is just really minor tweaks that I would make, but it's all preference. I just want to make this video to hopefully give some younger designers and developers some ideas of things to look out for and maybe think about when they're designing their own games or website or whatever it is. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any game recommendations you want me to check out and give some design analysis on, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.